Today I'm going to be taking you on a hike. One of the more difficult hikes in the gorge is called Dog Mountain. We're here in the parking lot, so you go, it's official. Dog Mountain, there's a sign. Not too many people here, but it's a Thursday. And as you can see, the busy highway right here, but here's the gorge. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be hiking up Dog Mountain. And that's going to be about a 8-mile round trip. And about 3,000 feet. Unfortunately, looks like the zombie outbreak response team is here, which is a really nice thing. So we're going to be safe from zombies on this hike. Alright folks, if you're gonna play, you gotta pay. Your self-service pay station. So the idea here is that you go, get your recreational fee envelope, put your $5 in there and fill her out. Now if you're camping, which they have camping here, you can pay more apparently. And on your car you just put this on the rearview mirror. And with the payment, you just put it into the slot right here, and you're off to the races. Let's see, anything on here? Pets must be leashed. Ooh, heat exhaustion, heat stroke, that's good to know. And do not pick the wildflowers. And no campfires. Let's take a look at the trail map and see what we're up against. As you can see, this trail map is probably, God, it's terrible. It's all sun-warmed. Hopefully you can see it. Probably was put up in the 70s and hasn't been fixed since, or upgraded anyway. So we're here, here's my finger. So we're here, and we're gonna come up here, and then we have to make a decision. Are we gonna go left or right? So let's say we go up this way. We're gonna go up here. And then these two, as you can see, they come back together again. And then up to the top. So from here to here, we're talking 3,000 feet. And as far as one way, 3.8 miles. So round trip, it's gonna be almost 8 miles. That's a pretty good hike. It's one of the tougher ones in the gorge. Now the first thing I encounter on the trail is this bio-break facility. I wonder if it's a good one or a nasty one. Let's check it out. And it looks like it's unisex. That's a little bit of a problem. Not sure what's going on there. Hopefully on the other side that's gonna be unlocked. If that's locked, that's pretty bad. Oh, burn! Oh, wait a minute, it is open, okay. Let's take a look. Oh man, it's dark in here. Now if you shut the door, you don't see anything, hardly. Oh god, that's pretty scary. Doesn't smell, so I'm going to give this bathroom a B+. And I gotta demerit it because there's no light, or at least no natural light hardly. There's that window there, but that's pretty lame. Anyway, B+. The beginnings of the trail are just a bunch of switchbacks. So we're pretty much starting the first switchback here. One of many. And we switch back just so it's not so steep going up, versus a straight line, which would be pretty much impossible. I've read, believe it or not, that there are rattlesnakes in these there woods, but they're not your big rattlesnakes. They're called pygmy rattlesnakes. Apparently they're more venomous than a normal sized one, but I've never heard of anyone getting bitten, so I'm not really worried about it. Been going uphill for a while now. It's fairly steep. There's quite a few switchbacks, but I'm kind of feeling my breath here, but not too bad. This looks familiar. I've done this trail probably about 10 times. But it's been a while since I've last been here. Should be fun. Well, folks, I'm not so used to all this up and up and up. Getting a little bit dizzy, if you know what I mean. The things are starting to spin around and around and around. Whoa. Oh, I need to take a little bit of a break here. But soon, I'll be going that away. After a bit of huffing and puffing, we finally arrived to our first treat of the hike. Our first halfway decent view of the gorge. We're not too high. We're probably only about 300 feet. We got a long way to go. But this view pales in comparison to what we're up for once we get to the top. The time has arrived for our first important decision, and I suspect probably the last important decision. The decision is this. If we go right, it's difficult, but if we go left, it's more difficult. So which way do we go? Difficult, more difficult. Difficult, more difficult. I say more difficult. Let's go. About 45 minutes into the hike, my goal is to get up there in another 45 minutes, so we're talking about an hour and a half. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm feeling pretty good. Just prior to the hike, I took a huge amount of caffeine via coffee. That's my energy elixir. In any event, hopefully I'll make it in my hour and a half, and we'll talk soon. I sense about right now that the coffee is starting to kick in. I'm feeling a bit more energy. I'm breathing a little bit less labored. And fortunately, due to the shade around me, I'm sweating less, so feeling much better now. I think there is a chance that I can make that hour and a half goal of mine. Anyway, I think we're at 50 minutes. Onward and upward. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Going up a steep hill right now. Hello, folks. I have a good hiking tip for you, especially if it's a long, strenuous one like this hike here on Dog Mountain. I'd say tip number one, possibly the most important tip, is stay hydrated. Now, the idea here is when you're thirsty, it's already too late. You're dehydrated, so don't wait until you're thirsty to start drinking. And what I do before I start a long hike is at the trailhead, I drink a whole bunch of water, probably at least half a liter, just to tank up and get the body ready to do some sweating. Now on this hike, I brought 2 bottles. One plastic bottle, which I use to drink out of, and then another larger aluminum one is my water reservoir. What I do is I'll drink out of the plastic one because it's convenient and easy. It just goes right in the back of my pack there. And once that's empty, I'll stop, open up my day pack, grab out the aluminum reservoir bottle, pour it into the empty plastic bottle, put the reservoir water back into the pack, then off I go. I figure I probably brought about close to half a gallon of water. I'll probably go through it all, I suspect, because as you can see, I'm a bit of a sweater, which I think is a good thing. Get all the bad stuff out. Anyway, as you can see, I'm still in the trees, but I'm hopeful that soon enough I'll see blue sky and I'll be out of the trees. Until then, signing off. Oh, looky here. We're at the fork where the two trails come back together. Like I said earlier, I took the harder one, which is here, which is there. And then there's a sign there at the fork, and that was the easier way up, right there. In any event, I'm getting close to getting out of the trees, as memory serves me. So this is where I'm going to go, and I'd say probably 5 minutes I should be out of the trees. Holy moly! I'd say this is by far the steepest section of the trail. This might give you kind of an idea of the angle. It's kind of hard to see there, but anyway, I am feeling pretty good. Still have quite a bit of energy left. I do believe I still have a bit of caffeine in my system, which should carry me to the top. Golly Bob, howdy! I made it to the tree line. As you can see, it breaking out on the top to the left, and this is to the north. I'm not high enough to see the top of Dog Mountain, but soon I will. And as you can see here, I can start seeing the Columbia. This is going west. And currently, I have about an hour and 15 minutes elapsed on the clock. I predicted it would take about an hour and a half, and I might actually beat that. I think I can get to the top in 10 minutes, so that would be an hour, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Anyway, off we go. As you can see, I'm a little further up on the trail, and further up means a better view. There's Wind Mountain there, and swinging over here to the south, that's the Oregon side, and right there, where the antenna's on the top there, that's Mount Defiance. I hiked up there, I don't know, about 2 months ago. That's about a 5,000 foot up, about 4,900 feet. That's a nasty hike. That's the hardest hike in the gorge, actually. Anyway, swinging to the east here, you see more of the Columbia. And you can also see a lot of dead stuff here on the hillside. It's been such a dry summer. I've never seen it so dead. As you can see, the hillside is really dry. Everything is just all brown and crinkly. And if I grab one of these leaves and it's just the powder, just nothing there. Empty. So I tell you, if this caught fire, this whole hillside would go up. Scary. In the springtime, when it's nice and lush and green, you get all sorts of wildflowers up here, but as you can see, there's just a bunch of dead ugly plants here. Looking forward to coming back next spring to see the wildflowers. This year I didn't have time to do that, but I'm going to put it on my calendar, make sure that I do. In any event, we're making these videos. I'm cutting into my time. I probably might not make it up to the top in an hour and a half, but who cares? I think it's more fun sharing than breaking times. So anyway, off we go. All right, folks, we just turned the corner here in a zigzag. Now we're going uphill. This is the last pitch to the top, and there is the top right there. It's our destination. We'll be there up in about 5 minutes. Looks like we've got about another 200 feet to go. Now we're progressed even a bit further. It gives you a little bit of an idea of scale. You can see someone out there with a dog. I did this hike. I've done this hike many a time, many times. There's one time when I was in pretty good shape where I actually did this hike twice back to back. And it was funny. I was at the top at the second time, feeling pretty smug and having accomplished a lot, at least in my little mind. And then wouldn't you know, I see this guy running up the trail to the top where I was sitting, and he gets to the top and I chat with him, and wouldn't you know, he's one of these ultra runner guys, And what he was doing was he was doing what I was doing. This was his second time up, but instead of hiking and slogging, he was actually running. So that completely took all the air out of my accomplishment balloon. Unfortunately, but actually fortunately, I didn't let it get me down, considering what are the odds of that happening? Some guy running up and doing the same thing as me. JD will be coming around the mountain when he comes. He'll be coming around the dog mountain when he comes. He'll be coming around the mountain. He'll be coming around the mountain. Soon, JD will be coming around the dog mountain when he comes. Alrighty folks, we have come to the point where the easy trail that went off to the left at the trailhead comes to the top and meets in with the tougher one. There's a signpost. Well, that's pretty old signpost. I think it's time for a new signpost. Regardless, almost to the top. This will take me around, and then I'll show you a nice video at the top. Stay tuned. Well, I got good news, folks. I made it to the top, and I almost made the hour and a half. 2 minutes over, an hour and 32 minutes. But if I wasn't shooting video, which takes a little bit of time and forces me to stop hiking, I would have come under an hour 30. So anyway, not so bad for an old guy who's 56. Anyway, here is the panorama of on top of Dog Mountain. And you can actually see Mount Hood poking up the top there in Oregon. So we're going west here down the Columbia. There we go. Pretty nice day. It's a little bit hazy out, but outside of that, it's nice. It's got to be about 72 degrees, and obviously you can see it's sunny out. Perfect day for a hike. Now, all I'm going to do is just sit down at the top and have my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, relax, probably for about half an hour, and then head down. I'll head down the easier way. The second, well, there's three. There's the hardest, then the second hardest, and then the third. I'm going to go down the second hardest because I don't have the best knees. My knees aren't so good anymore. And going downhill is the worst on your knees, and I don't have hiking poles. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Signing out. It's lunchtime. Something I want to point out here. This is something new. I guess I haven't been up here in a couple years. It looks like terraced seating here has been built in here through all the hikers. I guess they're getting a ton of hikers up in here. And recently they instituted a parking policy where I think there's only about 80 parking slots down there at the bottom of the trailhead. And if you come probably on a weekend, today's Thursday, but if I was to come on a weekend on a good day and I didn't get here early enough, I'd actually have to park down in Bonneville Dam, which is down to the west where I came from, and then take a shuttle, take a free shuttle up to the trailhead here and then back. So that's just how crazy popular this thing is. But I tell you, this terrace seating is just proof of that. Tip number 2, if you recall, tip number 1 was make sure you hydrate yourself. Tip number 2 is eat bananas. Bananas are an incredible, nutritious fruit. Really good for hiking. They're easy to pack. Just make sure you don't squish them. But they're filled with calories that are easily consumable. Also potassium. That's something that you need, especially when you're sweating a lot. I brought 2 bananas today. And this is the second one. Oh, and by the way, Mount St. Helens is right there, if you can see it. And I'm looking to the northwest right now. St. Helens. I hiked St. Helens twice. Well, the first time I failed because of the weather, but the second time I succeeded. And there's a cinder cone up there, probably about 1,000 feet from the top. And it's just, I mean, if you can imagine just trying to hike up a 45-degree incline in cinders, it's just slippery. So it was like 2 steps forward and 1 slide back. And it was really tough because just to get to that point, you're hiking thousands of feet. And then you gotta hike the remainder on the cinders. But definitely worth the reward of peeking into the caldera, if that's what you call it. It's amazing in there. But the St. Helens blew in 1980, and I believe it blew off, God, 1,500 feet of the top. Right now it's, I think it's 8,500 feet. And Hood, over there, Hood is 12.5 or 11.5. That's bad, I should know. I live here. Regardless. Oh, and one last thing. Earlier, I was saying I was an old man, and I said I was 56. I'm not sure where that came from. I mean, why would I wish myself to be older than I am? I'm actually 53, soon to be 54, so I'm not 56. I think that must have been altitude sickness or something, because, you know, I'm 3,000 feet up, and your head gets a little bit, you know, swimming around, so for some reason I said 56, I'm not really sure. So I blame altitude sickness, and I'm sticking with it. It's funny, I just realized something. I've been standing up here for probably a good 20 minutes, and I'm alone. So I have the Dog Mountain to myself. This is pretty amazing. I don't know if I've ever had it for that long a period of time, and especially with such a good day for weather. That's really odd. But hey, I'm not complaining. Alrighty folks, this concludes my video tour of Dog Mountain. I'm just gonna head down now after being up here about 20 minutes and just take my time. Don't shoot any videos, just some still shots. That's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. I certainly enjoyed talking with you all. And if you're ever in Oregon and you have a chance to go into the gorge and you like to hike and it's a good day, you really owe it yourself to come to Dog Mountain or so many of the other hikes out here in the gorge. It's just an incredible place. I am so fortunate to live here. Really am. I'm blessed. And anyway, in any event, we'll see you later, hopefully on another hike. Bye-bye.